Hello dear students, I hope all of you are doing well these days. Well, today I am here to discuss with you an important chapter from the book, from the supplementary reader, that is Vistas. This chapter is interesting. The name of the chapter is The Tiger King. This chapter, or rather this story, is included in class 12 syllabus of the subject English. So let's start discussing this story. Well, The Tiger King. The Tiger King. The title of the story is The Tiger King, written by Kalki. Written by Kalki. First of all, let us know a few things about the writer Kalki. The real name of Kalki is Ramaswamy Iyer Krishnamurthy. See, Ramaswamy Iyer Krishnamurthy. Ramaswamy Iyer Krishnamurthy. He was born on September 9, 1899. And died in 1954, December 5. December 5. Now, Ramaswamy Iyer Krishnamurthy is a Tamil writer, critic, journalist and Indian activist, Indian independence activist. He wrote a number of short stories, novels, which became famous on various grounds. Well, now let us begin the story, The Tiger King. See the title, The Tiger King. How is the title appropriate here? The question is, why this story is titled as The Tiger King? Why not any other title? Why The Tiger King is appropriate here? Let us discuss three instances which will show that The Tiger King here, that is the title, is appropriate. First of all, the king in this story is crazy for hunting tigers. He married a girl whose father's kingdom had a large tiger population. He almost killed 100 tigers. So this shows his craziness for hunting tigers. This is the first instance which will help you to understand that the Tiger King here, that is the title, is appropriate. Second instance, the king here, or the king in this story, with all his anger and ruthlessness, is as ferocious as tiger. Number 3, the cause of the death of the king in this story is a wooden tiger. Since the total story revolves around the king and the tiger, this very story is best titled as The Tiger King. Now just have a review on the title of the story. Let us see. I have discussed three instances. Let us have a quick review. See, first instance, crazy for hunting tigers. Married a girl whose father's kingdom has a large tiger population. This is the first point. Point number 2. The king is as ferocious as a tiger. Point number 3. The cause of death. The cause of death of the king, the cause of death of the king is an wooden tiger. Three points, which shows the title, that is the Tiger King, here is appropriate. Well, now let us come to the theme of the Tiger King. What is the theme here? The theme of the story is, it is a satire on the pride and ego of the kings in particular, and of all those who are in power in general. The writer here takes us to the days of autocratic and eccentric kings. In those times, the rulers were not interested in serving the people or working for the welfare of the public. Instead, they spent their time in foolish pursuits. Almost all and most of the kings lived under the thumb rule of the British, hence they feared them. The Maharaja of Pratibandhapuram, or in other words, the Tiger King, he believed in his destiny. An astrologer had foretold that the Tiger King's death would be because of a tiger. Just to make the prophecy fail, the Tiger King started on a tiger hunt, and he killed 99 tigers successfully, but the 100th one was a different one. Ironically, the 100th tiger which took the king's life was not a ferocious beast, it's a wooden tiger. The wooden tiger was made by an unskilled carpenter. It had slivers all over the surface. One of the slivers pierced Maharaja's right hand, and infection developed all over his arm. And in this way, the king met his death. So we can say that the 100th tiger took the life of Maharaja. This is the theme of the story. Now see, let us again have a quick review on the theme. What is the theme? It is a satire. It is a satire on the pride and ego. It is a satire on the pride. It is a satire on the pride and ego of the kings in particular. And of all those who are in power in general. Means The Tiger King, the king here was very powerful. He was as strong, as ferocious as a tiger. But because of his excessive pride and ego in his character, he ultimately met his death. He tried to make the prophecy, make this statement made by an astrologer false. He took it as a challenge, and because of which we see ultimately the tiger, that is the 100th tiger, took the life of Maharaja. This is the theme. Now, before I begin the explanation of the story, let us discuss the characters. There are some important characters. If your concept is clear on the characters, if you can keep in mind all the characters clearly, that will help you too much in understanding the story better. Now let us discuss the characters. The characters. First character, the Tiger King. The Tiger King, the hero or the protagonist or the main character of the story. The hero of this story. Number 2, the Crown Prince. The Crown Prince. The Crown Prince is the 10-day-old baby who later became the Maharaja of Pratibandhapuram. The 10-day-old baby who later became the Maharaja of Pratibandhapuram. Third character, the British officer and his secretary. The British officer and his secretary. Next character, chief astrologer. The British officer and his secretary, chief astrologer, the royal foreteller of the state. The royal foreteller of the state. The royal foreteller of the state. Number 5, Diwan. Now, who is Diwan? Chief administrative officer of the Maharaja. The chief administrative officer. Chief administrative officer of the Maharaja. Chief Administrative Officer of the Maharaja. Number 6, Durai means chief leader in Tamil. Chief leader in Tamil. Number 7, Duraisani. Duraisani. Who is Duraisani? The wife of the high-ranking British officer. Of the high-ranking British officer. The wife of the British high-ranking officer. So these are the 7 important characters we will come across while we discuss the story. Let us have a quick review. The first character, the Tiger King, the main hero of the story, the protagonist or the chief character of the story. The whole story revolves around the Tiger King. So he is called the main character of the story. Number 2, the Crown Prince, the infant or the 10-day-old baby who later become the Maharaja of Pratibandhapuram. Number 3, the British officer and his secretary. These 2 persons also play important role in the story. Next, chief astrologer, who is also an important character. He is the foreteller, the royal foreteller of the state. Next, Diwan, the chief administrative officer of the Maharaja. During times of complexities, the hero, that is the Maharaja Pratibandhapuram or the Tiger King, he used to discuss facts, issues with the Diwan. He used to consult with the Diwan to find out solutions to problems. Next, Durai, which means chief leader in Tamil. Next is Duraisani, the wife of the high-ranking British officer. This lady, that is the wife, she is a greedy woman. In one instance in the story, we will see why she is called as greedy. Now, these are the characters which you will come across while we proceed with the story. Now, I shall discuss the story in detail and we will try to make it easy so that all of you understand and that helps you in framing your answers nicely. Here we go with the explanation or rather the discussion of the story, the Tiger King. The Maharaja of Pratibandhapuram, who is also called as Tiger King, had numberless titles affixed to his name, but his name is often shortened to the Tiger King. Now why? There is an interesting story behind it. Now, what are the titles that are affixed or attached to the name of the Tiger King? Like Jamedar General, Khilidar Major, Sata Vegra Samhari, Sir Jilani, Jang Bahadur, M.A.D., A.C.T.C., C.R.C.K. These are all titles that are attached to his name, but his name is often shortened to the Tiger King. Now there is an interesting story behind it. When he was born, the astrologers had foretold that the Tiger King would one day have to die. The Crown Prince was only 10 days old when he heard the astrologer say this. Just after hearing this, the child spoke out beautifully. What did he say? He said that all the people or all those who are born will have to die one day. There would be some sense in it if he could tell the manner of that death. The astrologer was shocked, and everyone who were standing there, everyone was shocked, listening to the 10-day-old infant. Now the astrologer, to make his statement more strong, what did he say? He said that the Tiger King was born in the hour of the bull. Means what? The Tiger King was born in the hour of the bull. B-U-L-L, which means he was born under the astrological sign of Taurus, Taurus. What does this mean? According to astrology, there are 12 zodiac signs. One of the signs is Taurus. So the people born under the astrological sign of Taurus will have to meet his or her death by a tiger. Now why? Because the bull and the tiger are natural enemies. So his death would be because of a tiger. See, bull and tiger, both are enemies. The bull and the tiger are enemies. As he was born in the hour of the bull and the tiger are enemies. So his death would be because of a tiger. But, and on hearing this, the crown prince, that is the Tiger King, he was not at all afraid. Rather, he spoke in a terrifying voice. What did he say? Let tigers beware. What did he say? See, he said, let tigers beware. Let tigers beware. As his death, according to astrologer, would be because of a tiger, he said in a terrifying voice, let tigers beware. He wanted all the tigers to be aware. He also said that all these were rumors in Pratibandhapuram. But the people, most of the people we see, they started discussing among themselves about this issue. They started discussing about the death, about the outcomes, about the result of what will happen after a couple of days or a couple of months, and people were under pressure. But the crown prince, he was at all not scared. When as days passed gradually, when the Tiger King, he attained a certain age, that rumor came to his ears. The crown prince slowly and gradually grew up. While growing up, he was taken care by an English nanny. He watched English films. He was taught by an English tutor. His life moved on like all other royal like the children of royal families. So when he attained the age of 20, that rumor came to his ears, and then he started hunting tigers just to defeat the astrologer. We see in the story there were innumerable forests in Pratibandhapuram. These forests had large tiger population in them. The Maharaja knew the old saying, you may even kill a cow in self-defense. The cow is considered as holy animal by the Hindus. So if to save yourself, if to defend yourself, you can kill a cow, it is allowed to even kill tigers to save yourself. So the Maharaja started on a tiger hunt. When he killed the first tiger, he was very happy. He called for the state astrologer and asked, what do you say now? The chief astrologer said that, Your Majesty may kill 99 tigers in exactly the same manner, but your death will be by the 100th one. So now the Maharaja made a promise that he would attend to all the matters of the state only after completing his promise to kill the 100th tiger. Accordingly, he started on a tiger hunt. Each time, no doubt, he faced dangers, but each time he was successful in killing the tigers. His tiger hunts was successful, it was going nicely, but a time came when the Maharaja, he was in danger of losing the throne. Now how? A British officer visited Pratibandhapuram, and that British officer, he was interested in hunting tigers. More importantly, he wanted to be photographed holding a gun and standing near the carcass, that is the dead body of the tiger. The Maharaja refused permission. The Maharaja did not allow the British officer to hunt tigers because he thought if he permits the British officer to hunt tigers, the number of tiger in Pratibandhapuram will decrease and he may not be able to fulfill his promise. So he refused permission. Later on, the British officer sent his secretary to the Maharaja to tell him that he will not do the actual hunting, actual killing. The Maharaja will do the actual killing. What was important to him was that he just wanted to get photographed holding a gun and standing near the dead body of the tiger. But the Maharaja did not permit him to do this even. So, as he was under pressure, as he was in tension by refusing the British officer, he had consultations with the Diwan of what to do. The Diwan and the Maharaja, they discussed and came out with an idea. What was the idea? They thought to impress the British officer's wife by sending her diamond rings, by sending her expensive diamond rings of different designs. Accordingly, the Maharaja asked the Diwan to send a telegram to a famous British jewellery shop to send them samples of expensive diamond rings of different designs. Accordingly, 50 rings arrived. The Maharaja sent the whole lot to the British officer's wife. He thought the British officer's wife will keep some rings, some expensive rings, but she kept the whole lot and replied to him that thank you very much for the gifts. In 2 days, a bill of 3 lakhs rupees came. The Maharaja thought that no doubt he had to pay 3 lakhs of rupees to the jeweler shop, but still he was relaxed that he could manage to save his kingdom. Then what happened? The Maharaja's hunts continued to be highly successful. Within 10 years, the Maharaja was able to kill 70 tigers. But now there were no tigers found in the forest of Pratibandhapuram. The Maharaja then asked his Diwan and asked him to find out a girl because he wanted to get married. He made a criteria of marrying a girl. He asked Diwan to find out a girl whose father's kingdom had a large tiger population. Accordingly, the Diwan find out a perfect or a suitable girl for the Maharaja. In the meantime, Maharaja got married. Then, after marriage, whenever Maharaja used to visit his father-in-law's kingdom, he used to kill 5 or 6 tigers. Every time, whenever he used to visit his father-in-law's house, he used to kill 5 or 6 tigers. Accordingly, 99 tigers were killed. That means 99 tiger skins adorned the wall of the reception hall in Pratibandhapuram place. But by now, there was a problem in Pratibandhapuram place. What was the problem? One more tiger was left just to fulfill his promise of killing the 100th tiger. The last tiger made the total environment a chaotic one. There was hue and cry everywhere. The Maharaja grew restless as he could not find the 100th tiger. He refused to leave the forest until the last tiger was found. As the days passed, his obstinacy became alarming. Many officers lost their jobs. He asked the Diwan, even Diwan, to resign also. The Diwan, just to retain his job, he made a plan. He moved to the People's Park in Madras and he brought a very weak tiger from there. When it was night, he pushed the tiger into his car and carried the tiger and kept it in the forest at night. The Maharaja was in the forest also. When it was morning, that tiger came in front of Maharaja. The Maharaja was very happy as he could find the 100th tiger. He will shoot it, kill it, and accordingly he will defeat the astrologer's prophecy. So as soon as the tiger came in front of Maharaja, the Maharaja fired the tiger. What happened here actually is the tiger was so weak that it automatically fell down. The time when Maharaja fired at the tiger, just the moment the bullet came out from the gun, the tiger fell down. Actually, the bullet missed its mark. The bullet did not touch the body of the tiger. But the Maharaja thought that he had killed the tiger. He was very happy. He asked his Diwan to take the dead body of the tiger to the state for the celebration. He told this to the Diwan and left the forest in his car. The Diwan and the hunters moved near the dead body, moved near that weak tiger and saw that the tiger was not dead. The tiger was alive. The tiger was alive. They thought not to inform this to the Maharaja, because if they inform this to the Maharaja might get angry. So one of the hunters took a careful aim from a very close distance, shot the tiger and killed the tiger. They later brought the tiger to the state in grand possession. There was celebration everywhere. The dead body was buried and a tomb was erected over it. What do we see actually? The Maharaja or the Tiger King did not kill the 100 tiger. He thought he killed the 100 tiger, but actually his bullet missed its mark, and the last tiger, that is 100 tiger, was actually killed by one of the hunters. A few days later, it was the third birthday of Maharaja's son. Till now we see the king did not spend time with his son. He had given all his time in hunting tigers. Now it's time for him to spend some quality time with his son. And as it was the third birthday of Maharaja's son, he wanted to gift his son a very special gift. He searched all the shops of the state and found a suitable or a perfect gift for his son. What was the gift? It was a wooden toy tiger. The wooden toy tiger was made by an unskilled carpenter. As the carpenter was unskilled, it had tiny slivers all over its surface. While the king was playing with his son, one of the parts or portions or one of the slivers pierced Maharaja's right hand. He took it out and started playing. Slowly and gradually, in 4 days, infection developed all over his arm, and his arm and total hand was infected. The condition of the arm was so bad that 3 famous surgeons were called from Madras to operate the Maharaja. When they came out of the operation theatre, they announced the operation was successful, the Maharaja is dead. Now, operation successful, Maharaja is dead. How this is possible? When we say an operation is successful, when the patient is saved, but here the patient is dead. Now why? The statement is a satirical one. It's a sarcastic statement. At the end of the operation, when they said that the Maharaja was dead and the operation successful, as if the procedure was important to them, but life had no meaning for them. The job of doctors is not to highlight the technicalities of the treatment, but to save the patient. But here we see poor Maharaja, he lost his life in the operation theatre. So in this way we see the 100th tiger took its final revenge upon the Tiger King. At the end, or at last, we can say that the statement made by the astrologer is true on one hand. On the other hand, the Maharaja who made a promise to kill the 100 tigers is also true. Now how? The 100 tiger which took the life of Maharaja was not a ferocious beast, it was a wooden tiger, but it was a tiger. So this statement, the statement made by astrologer or the prophecy is right. On the other hand, the 100 tiger which the Diwan brought from People's Park in Madras and kept it in the forest was a weak one. It automatically fell down. The bullet which came out from Maharaja's gun actually missed its mark. It did not touch the body of the tiger. the weak tiger. But Maharaja thought he shot the tiger and killed it. So both are true. So here we come to the end of the Tiger King. Hope you enjoyed the explanation. If you have any question, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you.